My thoughts have never been clearer. I see what you're doing to me now. They lie, they steal, they fooled us. Deep down I probably knew this. I think I will be holding on to the one thing that I know is stronger. Love is blind.
Oh, I was listening to the song. Hi, and hi, everyone. Good to see everyone today. It's Coach Mel. And I have a topic for you today. I'm only going to be before you for 30 minutes. Lately, when I get off of work, I am like completely zonked out, literally zonked out. So I am going to give you 30 minutes because I know after 30 minutes, we all get squirrel brain, especially the fact that it's in the evening and some of us have just gotten off work and we're not really in the mindset to start taking on information. But this is a topic I was supposed to share last week and I didn't get a chance to share it. So I thought it would be a good time to do that today. Hopefully the broadcast will show this time. And it is showing. That makes me happy. And I'm checking my pages just to make sure that everyone can get to the broadcast. So I'm going to check my groups now because it's on the main page. And let me see. I think you guys should be up. They're up and running. The group is up and running. And let me check one more. And we'll go in with the topic. And the topic of the day, I'm wondering if it'll show it to me that it's live. And my channel. Well, it always shows the green trees for some reason, but that lets me know it's going live. So, yeah, it's there. But, okay. What is the topic? Do we really love ourselves? That's a good question. A lot of people are quick to say, I got my hand raised. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Especially us females. I love myself. What you talking about? I love myself. I love me some me. This is what we say. This is what we do. I love myself. But what does that mean to you? What does it mean for you to love yourself? What does that mean? I'm honestly serious. And I'm in my StreamYard. So let me see if I can pull up. Because for some reason, again, Facebook won't show me my comments, but God bless Facebook. And I'm trying to show, I don't want the volume, but I don't want the volume. I don't want the volume. Stop it. Okay. So hopefully someone will chime in. We'll see if any comments come in, but if not, it's okay. But the question is, do I love myself? And if not, what are some of the reasons or excuses that we're using or that we are using and we don't even know we're using? And if you're not loving yourself, if not now, when? When are we going to do that? So I'm going to give my story. I'm going to give a little bit of my story. And if you have not ever read my book, the name of my book, before I get started, I'm just going to give you a quick blurb. What the Hell, A Life Testimony. It's available on Amazon.com. I also have book 2 on there is What the Hell, her rise from the ashes. I had to think about it. I am doing live. It says be ready to start a live. It's already live. So anyway, that's the name of my book. It's on Amazon.com. And I also have the Ultimate Healing Workbook to go with that. So if you've already read the book and you did not get the healing workbook, it's finally here. But if you get the book and you get the workbook together, or get the workbook after, actually, then you'll be able to just work on some things. These are some things in the workbook that I worked on. I did not go to coaching or counseling when I started my healing journey. And that was beginning in 1998 when all hell broke loose in my life. I was at the end of my rope. Depression had kicked in probably about a year before that. And I was just lost. Completely and utterly lost in the middle of everything that I shouldn't have been in the middle of. And, end up in the psych ward, tried to kill myself. I saw myself jumping off cliffs, jumping into the ocean, the bay, actually, and which led out to the ocean. It was a big deal. Life was hard then. And when I look back at that, I didn't love myself. I didn't even know what love was, to love yourself. I didn't know what that meant. I couldn't tell you what I thought love was. It was something that, to me, I guess at that time, it was something that I thought was supposed to be given to me, but I didn't know how to give it because I don't feel like I understood it. And I might have been given it, but not in the proper ways. And those that did love me the best way that they knew how to love me. And it didn't help me not to throw a poo-poo on it or, throw swine to pearls, but I was still lost in the midst of it. There are a lot of things that I did not understand as a person. So it took me to go through what I went through and to go through 20 years, 98, 2008, 2018, I would say 2018, 20 years, was a major part of my healing, and no one helped me. I did it all myself. That's why I have the ultimate healing workbook, because those exercises are things that I did to help myself. There were processes that I was going through on my own. The waking up in the middle of the night, crying and screaming, and all the emotions from past incidents that happened, and me crying and asking for forgiveness for things to people that I had hurt, or trying to work out how to forgive others that had hurt me. So there's a cycle that goes through it. It was all about learning who I was and learning about how to love myself first. I didn't realize that's what I was doing then. I was just trying to understand why I was feeling all the pain I was feeling. And took a lot. Forgiveness, which is a trigger for a lot of people. So again, if you really want to know the truth about it, really dive into what it is I went through in my book, get the book. I would encourage anyone to get it. It is, it's been life altering for me. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I reach out to, especially women, because my ministry is definitely about women. And that's what I've been tapped into to do. I'm stuttering to do. Because women, we have such a heart. We take on so much. Not that men don't. And let me put that disclaimer out there. This is not to poo-poo on men or say that men they don't go through things, because they do. We all do. Us as humans, everywhere, we all go through something. So I want you all to know that and understand that we're all going through something. It's a part of the experience here on earth as humans. So back to it. what are some of the ways we are not loving ourselves? There are so many different ways we don't think about that we're not loving ourselves. We don't understand. You have a body. Well, no, let me say this. You are a spirit. You live in a body and you have a soul. So the body and the soul needs to be fed in so many different ways. The soul needs to be fed spiritually. It needs positive reinforcements, positive edification, uplifting all the time, consistently, throughout the day. It needs peace and tranquility. It needs to come away from all the hard, dark energy. The body needs rest. The body needs healthy foods. The body needs to be around. The body needs to exercise, something that we don't do. Telling you the truth about it, we're not as good. We'll get started and then we stop. And there are those who are just gung ho on it. They're doing it 100%, and sometimes they can get to the point where you can overdo when it comes to exercise, and your body's like, I'm done with this. I'm over this. And we don't listen to our bodies, whether it be spiritually, mentally, or physically. We need those things. So one of the ways is food. What type of foods are we putting in our body? I'm guilty of this. And we use the excuse of, well, I got a craving for this and I'm going to have fun with this. Now, I'm going to put this out there, but there's also another side to it. I just want to hit on one thing right now, because it could go into depth. And this is not about the depth side right now. This is about just understanding, loving our bodies. If we go back and look at our parents, we look at our grandparents, we look at the cycle that family members have gone through, ancestors and elders, the foods that we ate. At one point, especially in my community, that and it might have been for a lot of others too. I can't say it's not. So let me put that out there. But there was a time that we didn't eat the foods that we eat. There was no such thing as processed food. And we all know, if you don't know this now, that processed food does not help. It hurts. And while the Creator has given us the ability to create foods, He's also given us, to make them taste better. But all the things that are in the foods are processed and they're not good for us because of our loving taste buds that want to have all these things inside of us. And it just tastes so good. And oh my God, and I gotta have some more. Now, what am I saying to that? I'm not saying don't have those things. I'm not going to tell you what to have and what not to have. But everything that we do with indulgence is never good for us. Our body really desires to have healthier foods, green foods, water, a lot of the things that we forgot that we used to have, that was our ancestors, those in our genealogy, our DNAs, that was normal. And it changed over the years. It's trying to change back, or it's trying to give us a happy medium so we have both, because I'm not upset that I had a honey bun when I was younger, maybe several. I had a high metabolism too. But if you think the foods that we're eating that are healthy, they're helping our metabolism stay up instead of stay down, because of the fact that we're in bodies. Our spirits are in bodies, and these bodies aren't going to last that long. They can last a lot longer, but we have to be aware of what we're eating. And that comes from love. We love ourselves, but we're going to the doctor for various reasons: high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, you name it. And then the stresses that we're putting on our bodies, with issues within families and and whatever and whatnot, causing cancer, causing lupus, causing, you name it, So we got to be careful of what we're putting into our bodies, food wise, especially things that we watch and listen to, television, radio, streaming TV, all of that. These things can be stressful. Even if you're watching a football game, I know, because good Lord have mercy, basketball games, and you want your team to win so bad, you don't even realize that all of a sudden it gets to the point where it's back to back to back, and they're getting a point, and your team's getting a point, and then your team's losing a point, and someone messes up, and then all of a sudden it's all back. Next thing you know, there's a turnover or a rebound or something, and next thing your heart is all over the place, and you're like, oh my God, I can't take this, I'm stressed out. That's stress on the body. And we think that's good stress. No, because we're not out here running up and down the field. They're already stressed up, running up and down the field, running up and down the courts, doing what they have to do. They're getting exercise, though. We're sitting in the seat, stressing out, yelling and carrying on. Yelling does not help you. That is it, and then we call it fun. And then we're and not only that, going back to the food. While we're at these games, what are we eating? We're not eating no salad. We're not eating no chickpeas. We're not eating drinking water. What are we doing? They got chicken tenders. They got popcorn. They got hot dogs. They got pizza. They got sodas. They got junk food. They got everything that we're not supposed to be eating. So first of all, you're sitting there watching a game. Now, secondly, you're putting all the wrong foods in your body. There's two ways. Is that love? No, it's good though to us. Yeah, it's fun. But why do we do it all the time? It's become a way of life with us. And then we say we love ourselves, but then we're going to the doctor to get medication that we don't necessarily have to take, because what are we doing? Not loving ourselves. TV, movies, radio, music, all those things. What are we putting into our body? Are we listening to all these lonely songs and depressing songs? I'm hurting, you hurt me, and I hate you. And are we listening to guys that the rap songs that call females bees, and that N and all the crazy stuff? And we think it's normal. It's become a normal. But do you realize all of those words are unhealthy to our spirit, which affects our body and our thought process? Yeah, it does, whether you like it or not. And some people will sit up and say, I don't care, I'm going to live this life the way I want to live it, and I'm going till I die. Okay, but guess what? You got to come back and repeat it, because you didn't get it the first time. So who wants to repeat it? Who wants to keep coming back to repeat something? Yeah, I just said something. I know a lot of people are not going to agree, but it's okay, because I'm okay with that too, because I know the truth. A truth. I took the time out to study it, and I'm standing on it. Everyone won't, and it's okay. People we hang around. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Why? Because we hang around a lot of people. Why do we hang around certain people? Because they seem cool. They seem fun to be with. They seem like, because your life is boring. Okay, you know what? I like being with them because they're hype. They're fun to be with. They're exciting and da-da-da-da. And all of a sudden you sit up and realize one day, I don't like this anymore. This doesn't make me happy. In fact, it stresses me out. And you sit back and you realize, you start to see things that you didn't see before, because you were so engrossed into the whole atmosphere of it, living those lives. And some of the things that we put ourselves in the midst of, we won't step out of them because out of fear, abuse. We don't want to be alone. We want to be liked. We want to be a part of the in crowd. So we deal with it and we laugh about it. But something on the inside of us is like, ma'am, sir, what are you doing? Why are you here? Because you know you're not, you know, it's not that you're not supposed to be here. You know, everything in your spirit is screaming, I don't like it. I don't want to be here. Lastly, some of us don't know how to love ourselves because we weren't taught. We weren't admonished when we were kids. We weren't given that affirmation that we needed, that edification that upbuilding. We did not get it. We did not get it. And we're lost. So we're trying to figure it out. But instead of us figuring it out initially from the inside, we go looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm a witness. No shame in my testimony. I wrote a book about it. Here you go. Anyway, we don't know what it is. We don't even know where to look. So we're looking at everyone else and everything that they're doing, and we think that's love. We listen to our friends and we listen to what their relationships are, and we think that is a successful relationship. We're listening to family members and we think those things that they're doing, that's love. Yelling at me, cussing at me, calling me names, down and me, talking about me, making me feel bad about me. Boy, I love you, but we're family. We're supposed to be together for the life. We're family and we all we got. That's a lie. And we're supposed to, but your family is everybody. Your family is not just your immediate family. Your family is everyone on this earth. We are all family. And you get to pick and choose what you want to deal with and what you don't. What makes you happy and what you appeal. You don't have to just settle. There's nothing anywhere that says you have to settle because this is where you came from and this is what you have to deal with. These are the cards that you're dealt. No, you do not have to do that. So, how do we change that? Number one, define what love is to you, not everyone else. Because if you keep asking questions of what do you think about this and what should I do about this and how do you feel about this, they're telling you their version of what they think love is or what they think life should be, and then you tag on to that. So you continuing in with the I don't love myself. So take a day and sit down and write out what should to me love look like? What should it look like? What should it feel like? It should feel like freedom. It should feel like peace. What else should love look like? Write it down. Write it all out. And then every time you come up in a situation, and if you don't feel love, your best bet is to walk away because there's nothing about love in it. And people will entangle you into this mess of calling it love, but they will say whatever the hell they want to say to you, have you all upset and go, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I love you. No, you don't, because you wouldn't have said that, because then you turn around and do it again. So the question is, when are you going to stop dealing with it? When are you going to say, I'm done? And you don't have to tell them, you just stop it. Because people will say and do things and not realizing they can get away with it as long as you let them. And then when you decide to get quiet on them and you disappear from them, all of a sudden, you're the enemy. You're the bee. You're the whatever they call you. Not realizing that they actually dug that whole mountain. They built that mountain. And you just got tired of climbing it anymore. So you turned around and went back down the damn mountain. They prepared and left it for somebody else to climb up because you feel like it's not worth the climbing that mountain for this drama and this mess. That's called loving yourself. When you decide to say no, when you decide to set healthy boundaries, what else? Find out what else makes you happy. Find out what makes you happy and do that. What gives you peace and do that. Just because someone else wants to do something and they invite you does not mean you have to say yes or go. Matter of fact, you don't even have to give them an answer as to what you should do, whether you're going to do it or not. Well, I'll get back with you later, because that causes a stress on your body, because that means now you got to answer to them eventually, because they're sitting back waiting on you to answer if you're going to go with them or not. And because you haven't said anything and you're sitting up here pondering, oh my God, I really don't want to go because I really don't like the people. I really don't want to be in the atmosphere. And you know what? This person actually drains me, but I don't want to hurt their feelings. So I'm not going to say anything at all. But then Now the day is coming, they're expecting an answer. Who's stressed out? Not them, you. Not them, you. Let your yes be yes and let your no be no. If your spirit and your body is saying this, do it. If you're everything inside of you is screaming, listen, I'm telling you, it will save I don't know how many amounts of stress. You know, do you. You don't have to answer as to why you're not going. You don't have to answer as to why whatever. Just know, I'm not going to be able to do it. Go ahead and have fun. Enjoy your life. Oh, but you should come because I ain't going to have no fun without it. Okay, well, that's then don't put that responsibility on me for you to have fun. Excuse me. Because you're not going to have fun because I'm not there. Then something's wrong because you've given me too much power. That's wrong. What about dating? We always say, we have that inner question. A lot of us have that inner, well, I don't anymore because anyway. I do not have it. I'm good where I'm at. There are certain things that I wish for, but I'm in that space and I'm going to tell you why. Date yourself first. Because we're always saying we're lonely and we want to be with someone. We don't even know. Most of us haven't written down what it is that we want in a partner, what we want in a mate, what we even wanted a friend, because we put the sex partner first before we've even put the friend. That's not your friend. That's your sex partner. Tell it like it is. You had sex with them and you didn't know jack squat about them. You don't even know them. Why do we switch that up? And then all of a sudden we've taken on their spirit by crossing that path, their issues, their emotions. We've taken on all that. And if they're sleeping with someone else, you've taken on that other person's issues, emotions, problems. You know, it's just too much to deal with. Take time out. Date yourself first. If you want to be in a relationship, look in the mirror. Ask yourself, would I date myself? Would you ask yourself literally, would you date me? Would you date yourself? Would you date you? Would you date you? And some people look at it by looking in the mirror. Yeah, date me. Okay, you just looked in the mirror and you said that. But have you checked off all the things that you want on that list for that person? So that's the thing you need to do. Create the list. Create a list of the type of person that you want to be your mate. All the things that you would like for them to be, have, do, whatever. And here's the kicking part. Then you be to yourself all those things on that list that you want someone else to be to you first. And this is the interesting part, because once you're doing all those things on that list that you're asking for someone else to be for you, to you, if you're covering all that on your, then you don't need anything from that person or a person, because you're doing it for yourself. And the minute you start realizing that, there's a peace that comes about. And it's not that I don't need nobody. You don't have to have that type of an attitude. You just look at it from the standpoint of, if it happens, it's a blessing. But if it doesn't, I'm already everything on that list that I've been asking for. If it comes, that's just butter. That's all. Butter. But when you get to the point where it's not a need, you are in good company. Because you the bomb, you the stuff, you it. And you've proven to yourself by following that list that you do, in fact, love yourself. So, with that being said, I got 1 more minute. Again, this is Coach Melvie, the healing factor. And the question was, do we really love ourselves? So again, if you want to purchase my book, it's What the Hell, a Life Testimony. It's on Amazon.com. And I also have the Ultimate Healing Workbook available to you. And it's called, what the hell? Who Am I? Ultimate Healing Workbook. Hold on just a second. That's the Ultimate Healing Workbook. And it's on my website. It's on my website. I'm typing as I'm talking to you guys. I can't type today. I'm just thinking about this as I'm talking to you. So, holistic.com. Can I spell today? It's on there. It's on. That's my website. You can get it there, purchase it, and I will send you the link once you purchase it. Or you can send your payment. And the booklet, the healing workbook, is only $5. Now, the payment for the book, you get that off the website. I also have books, a few more books here with me. And if you want a signed copy of it, let me know. But if you want to get a copy of the workbook from, and I can send it directly, you can Cash App me, or I'm sorry, you can send me through PayPal, which is or let me see, that's the first way. You can send the $5 to that email and entitle it Ultimate Healing Workbook. Or, of course, you can send Cash App. Here. And that is my Cash App. So there are two ways to get it. And you can get it through me as well. Also, you can also get my booklet. I'm sorry, my book. And I can give you a signed copy. So with that being said, also when you send in your payment through, like I said, PayPal or Cash App, make sure you notate what the reason is. You can just say on Cash App workbook, and then on the PayPal, you can say Ultimate Healing Workbook. That way I'll know. And make sure you tell me why. That way I can get back with you, get your email address so I can send you the link to the booklet. It's a wonderful booklet. It could be longer, but I didn't want to overextend it because I didn't want to have your eyes spin out. You know, there's a lot of good information in there, and it's a good starter for you to start answering questions for yourself and figuring out some things that you never thought about doing. This is another way of showing self-love, doing this healing workbook, taking time out for self. That's most important. I always say, put your own face mask on first, or your own oxygen mask on first before you put someone else's on, because you can't help anyone else unless you help yourself. And no one else can love you better than you love yourself. So all these ways we talked about, are we loving ourselves? Think about it. When you're listening to certain music, how does it make you feel? Is it about love? Not saying in love, but love. You know, foods that you eat, how is it making you feel? Is that love? If you're getting sick and you have to feel like you're going to throw up or whatever else, you know, there's a lot of things to think about. The music you listen to, the television shows you're listening to, all of this is very important. It's about self-love. So this workbook is very, very important. So I encourage you all. And after you've done the workbook, if you feel like you want to take on sessions, because I am a coach and a counselor, and I can walk you through this, because sometimes the booklet may not, it may give you some information, but it may dig into some deep stuff that you may need some help walking through. And I can definitely help you with that. So if you want to, you can also email me at these email addresses if you are interested in coaching classes or counseling classes, and minimum of 3 months if you're really serious about it. Those students that I do have, a couple students, clients that I do have now, they just check in periodically, but one of them I've had for 2 years plus. And then I coached her daughter. I counseled her daughter, actually. And I did marriage counseling for her and her fiance. So I take it to the heart. Straight, no chaser. I give you your moments. I love you through it, but I'm really straightforward with you, honest. And again, it's your healing. So I don't tell you what you need to do. I help you figure it out. And we walk through it together. So with that being said, I'm signing off now. Again, Coach Mel, I love you all. Why is my smile crooked? We just see love. Don't love myself. I'm so busy looking at my smile. It goes this way. So I'm getting ready to get off of here. I love you all. Take care, and please be blessed.